Yeah, I thought the drive came
Along
early.
comes Sam Whitelock, and he makes his debut. The 21-year-old, remember, no Ali Williams, no Jason Eaton, Tom Donnelly. It's inside the Pilly Weeper, and it's going to be another one.
So yeah, it is pretty much the end of an era now. I mean, I think he must be the last. I mean, unless obviously, apart from like maybe Bowden Barrett later in the season or TJ Perenara, it feels like we're coming towards the close of an era, and of course Sam Cane as well. With the news that, of course, Sam Whitelock, another Centurion All Black, has decided to call time on his rugby career. Well, he will call time on his rugby career, I should say, once his stint in France is over in June. Of course, now this is sort of I guess, a little bit of surprise, a little bit of, I'd say, an unexpected turn for some who are thinking, in the wake of news that Scott Robertson had approached Sam Whitelock to join the All Blacks. I think there were perhaps some fans hoping that Whitelock would make a U-turn and unretire from the All Blacks, but that's not in fact what he's in fact done is retire. Pretty much hang up the rugby boots, and pull out of rugby completely. Obviously, the reason was to spend more time with his family in Christchurch, so which you can't, I guess, of course, Sam Whitelock's been, he's been pretty much a top, an All Black. I think he's pretty. To be fair, I think his career, he's been an All Black for as far as I can remember. Because you remember, of course, against Ireland, he burst onto the scene and he was pretty much thrust into the All Blacks back in 2010. So we're looking at about a 14-year career plus, of course, 14-year career. So yeah, and that's a lot of time away from home. And of course, I remember, back in his career sort of started with, around the time of the Christchurch earthquake. So that was a significantly emotional time. It would have been an emotional time for him. And, of course, he is part of the great Whitelock clan from Manawatu with, all of them have become, apart from Adam, have become All Blacks. George, of course, the oldest, and then Adam Whitelock, who was the only back in that Whitelock family, Sam, and then Luke, of course, the youngest brother, who is an All Black captain. That would be one for the pub quizzes in the future. But yeah, I guess, so I really, really certainly one of the greatest players New Zealand's ever produced. And I almost, not wanting to sound hyperbolic, I'd say possibly, in the top 5, top 3 of New Zealand rugby players, in my opinion. I don't want to, and I guess I'm not wanting to no disrespect to the late Sir Colin Meads, who of course is a New Zealand icon, and revolutionized the game in his own way. But I think for people like myself, born, who weren't alive when to watch Sir Colin Meads, I think you'd have to say Sam Whitelock is that, is what Sir Colin Meads was to that generation. I'm not going to say greatest lock ever. I mean, I guess maybe perhaps greatest All Blacks lock of the professional era, if you want to call it. Brodie Retallick has Brodie Retallick might have an case against, might raise a case maybe. But I think, I guess Sam Whitelock, when he came, in terms of his athletic abilities, being able to, ball carrying abilities, his pace, being able to, read the game, and of course, and along with, the basic things like, at lineouts, he was just immense, and, just carrying, defensive qualities, he was, he just was just absolutely, he did things that locks even 10 years ago weren't capable of doing, and he pretty much changed the game. I think I get, yes, I get, you see your likes of Brodie Retallick, James Ryan, all these locks with with these wide-ranging ability. Peter Steph Dutoit, they've got these locks who are able to run as quickly as wingers. And I guess Sam Whitelock was kind of while he didn't pioneer the role, I mean, because I mean, you had someone like Ali Williams, for example, who wanted to play, could be wanted to play in the back line at times, but certainly Sam Whitelock, I think, really created created the ultimate model on what a modern day lock should be. And I think that's I guess that's and I think that's the one legacy that we leave. And look, I get towards obvious his I guess it is, we can now appreciate his longevity now in the game. Of course, that's 4 Rugby World Cups, 14, pretty much a 13-year career in the All Blacks. That now I guess only the likes of Richie McCord, Dan Carter, and a fellow centurions that could could match that. And certainly is, I guess, I mean, I guess only time will tell. I don't there's gonna be arguments that he's he has kind of overtaken Sir Colin Means as the most as the best lock that New Zealand rugby's ever produced. But that's I mean that and there's certain merits to that, but I that again rugby, of course, so Pine Tree played rugby during Pine Tree's era was completely different to rugby played modern day rugby, which Sam played. So but look, certainly it is a sad moment and for New Zealand rugby, but also I guess one that and one that you can appreciate, a time to appreciate the achievements of one of the greatest rugby players all the time. So and he will certainly be missed by Crusaders, Canterbury, and All Blacks fans. And so those are my thoughts on Sam Whitelock. What are your thoughts? Is he the greatest lock that New Zealand rugby's ever produced? Is he the greatest lock in world rugby history? I mean, there have been so many locks. I mean, thinking of John Eales, of course, another incredibly athletic lock. Quite have the ball, may not quite have the ball carrying abilities of Sam Whitelock, perhaps, but still, another player who really revolutionized the role. So many players, I guess, where does Sam Whitelock, where does Sam Whitelock stand in amongst the, All Blacks greats? Like to hear your thoughts. If you like this video, feel free to like, and don't forget to subscribe.
I put Sam to be the biggest baby. He reared a pig, and Mum and Dad told him that it was, it had gone to we'd sold it at the local sale.
We had pork the next night.
Did you name it?
Mary.
Mary was the name of the pig.